Very good morning to each one of you. Advance wishes of Happy Diwali and Chhat Puja to all your parents as well as to you all. And I request you all to please maintain the sanctity of this particular celebration or the festivity. Spread the light of joy and happiness instead of spreading smog and fog. All right. So, wish you all Happy Diwali in advance. Have a fantastic week that is going to come ahead and have a great source of happiness in your life. So, we are going to talk about business writing.
Happy Diwali, ma'am.
Thanks to you all, and even Ismail. Wish you all happy Diwali, dear. And please keep this in your mind that happiness is part of everybody's life. It never checks into religion. It never enters into religion saying that happiness is mentioned only for Hindus or Muslims or Christians or Sikh. So it's a part of everybody's life. And I really wish the light of knowledge and the light of joy should brighten everybody's life. So I really wish each one of you a healthy life, a prosperous life, and a life of great learning. All right. So let us understand that what we are going to discuss today in our today's class. So when we were talking about the sessions which were related to business letters, if you remember, we were discussing about business letters and how email letters have slowly and steadily transformed the mode of writing letters. Earlier, people used to write letters on paper and then they used to write the address on the envelope. They used to post the letter, and then slowly the transformation had happened, and then we started sharing emails. And because of emails, our work, we were able to bring in efficiency in our work. The work which used to take at least 10 days time or 15 days time, we have really fastened up. We have increased the pace. We have checked that the things can be processed very quickly, the things can be shared with others very quickly, and accordingly we started responding. Accordingly we started improving our life skills and improving our even managerial skills. So in today's class we are going to talk about something related to business writing. When we talk about business writing, keep this thing in your mind that whenever we talk about business writing, it is divided into different segments. We write certain information related to internal communication. Whenever we are talking about internal communication, not externally, not with the members, not with the employees of the others who are working in different organization, but in the organization, within the boundaries of the organization, many a times you may have to communicate with the different people of the different department. Sometimes you may have to communicate with the member of your own department. So, what are those internal communication? In what way we can really bring effectiveness in our internal communication? That we are going to discuss in our next forthcoming classes. We are also going to talk about composition writing. We are also going to discuss about paragraph writing. How can we write good paragraph? How can we compose good articles? How can we really draft good articles, and how can we become great bloggers? So we are going to discuss about all these in detail, and then ultimately we are also going to talk about grammar, because whenever we are talking any language, I'm not talking only about English. My focus is not only on English language. Any language, be it Hindi, be it Bhojpuri, be it Maithili, or any language that you speak, or whatever language that you use in order to communicate, you will see that languages, they have certain structure. The grammar rules are there. Do we really follow those grammar rules or not? If we are not following the grammar rules, what is going to happen? People will not be able to understand the concept with clarity. So, what are the common basic grammar rules that we should remember, particularly when we are talking about English language? So, moving ahead, when we are going to talk about the messages, generally the message that we share from one part to the other, from one department to the other, from one person to the other, from one organization to the other organization, you will see that the tone, the information that you are sharing will be broadly categorized into these four segments. Let us understand about what do we understand by routine messages, what do we understand by positive messages, what do we understand by negative messages, and what do we understand by persuasive messages. Moving to the first segment, that is routine message. Whenever you are asked, whenever you are informed, whenever you are forced to share the information on regular basis. Say for example, when I talk about your attendance, it is must for all of you to share your attendance. Can you say that I will do it only once in a while, or I will get my attendance marked only monthly? Not possible. Every day, if you are attending a class, it is necessary or it is must for you all to get your attendance marked so that it could be captured, it could be properly collected, compiled, and preserved for future. So keep this in your mind. Routine messages are those messages which we are performing, which we are doing, which we are generally sharing with the others on regular basis. One example is attendance. Second example could be related to the kind of work that you do. Say, for example, assignment. But if you are a student who is pursuing BBA and BCA course, on regular basis, your teachers, they do assign some assignments. They keep share certain assignments with you all, and you keep doing it. You are regularly doing it. So what are those regular activities? Like writing assignment, preparing notes. Don't you start preparing notes immediately the day when you have started your class? Of course, every one of us, if we really want to score better marks and if we really want to understand the information in a right way, to gain more knowledge, to enhance our knowledge, if we really want to improve our knowledge skills, what is it that we do? We start preparing the notes. So please keep this in your mind, whatever you do on regular basis. When I say regular basis, may not be necessary daily. Sometimes it could be weekly, sometimes it could be fortnightly, sometimes it could be monthly, sometimes it could be quarterly or biannual or annually. So based on the requirement, based on the work, based on the need, what you do, you compile, you assemble all the information that is required, which happens on regular basis. Such kind of messages that is shared, that is either collected or compiled or assembled or prepared and shared with others is called as routine messages. Now, the next is positive message. Whenever we say positive messages, we are talking about all those messages that we are sharing with the others, that we are giving to others, that we are delivering to others, that we are informing to others or ordering, instructing. Whenever we share anything good, which is good to hear, which is good to read, which is good to tell, which is good to inform, will be considered as positive message. For example, when you get good marks and your teacher calls you to congratulate you, your father is very happy because of your good performance. You are behaving very well. Every day you are behaving very well. You are at your best behavior. Your parents, they are very happy with you. They always like you. They always praise you. And they always say that my son, my daughter, they are really good. They understand us very well. So what are you doing? You are gaining the positive message from others. And this could be again done on regular basis. Say, for example, your team is performing very well and every time your team is getting the best remark from others, the best feedback from the customers and consumers, the best review from the clients. So you are getting a positive message. Always remember, whenever we are gaining some good news, gaining some good information, gaining the information which makes us happy, which makes us feel joyful and delighted, would be a part of positive message. Then comes the next, negative messages. It is quite opposite to positive. When we talk about negative messages are those messages which makes us feel depressed, sad, unhappy. We are not joyful. We lose our excitement. So whenever we don't perform as per the expectation of other, or if people are not performing as per the expectation of what you have set, so what are you going to do? You're going to write a negative message. Say, for example, you are the teacher who is teaching communicative English. You have conducted a test, a class test, and students did not perform well. So what are you going to do? You're going to write negative message. You're going to show the negativity. That is, you are going to share the opinion, or you're going to share your feelings. You're going to share or express your emotions and feelings which are negative. And the kind of message that you're going to share is again negative. Say, for example, if we are talking about somebody's death, if we are talking about somebody who's not performing well and we have to fire them, we have to terminate them. So keeping these in mind, please remember negative messages are again part of our day-to-day life. Then comes the final one, persuasive messages. Very, very important. Whenever you have to identify the problem, I repeat, when you are in the position where you can identify the problem, help people in reaching or trying to find the solution to that particular problem, you are going to convey persuasive messages. Persuasive messages influence others. Persuasive messages motivate others. Persuasive messages encourages others. Persuasive messages always enlighten others. They help you to change yourself. They help you to change your personality. They help you to bring that positivity in your mind. Say, for example, if you have scored less marks in your class test one, so are you going to stop reading? Of course, no. What your parents are going to do if you're going to share about your low marks, they will say that no problem. This is just class test one. You can perform very well in class test two, but yes, try to focus more on attending the classes, prepare your notes, keep revising, keep doing your revision on regular basis so that the next class test, whatever or whenever it is held, you can score better. What did your parent do? They have persuaded you. So keep this in your mind that whenever we talk about messages, there are properly, if you are going to understand, they are properly a part and parcel of our day-to-day life. In everyday life, some messages are routine, some messages are positive, some messages could be negative, some messages are persuasive. Say, for example, if you are enjoying Diwali, all of a sudden, if you come to know that because of negligence, one of your friend, while bursting cracker, met with an accident, again, it's a negative message. If you are talking about one of your friend who promised or who had taken an oath that he's not going to burst or she's not going to burst any crackers because that is creating harm not only to our nature, not only to the air, but also creates a problem to the people in the surrounding, you will be appreciating him or her. So what are the kind of messages that you're going to share? Positive. So keep this in your mind that it's not only related to letters, it's not related to only email. It could be part of our day-to-day life. We share different messages, we share different information, we communicate each and every day on different topics. But point to be remembered, I want everybody to write this particular proverb in the chat box and remember it throughout your life. Praise loudly, blame softly. I repeat, praise loudly and blame softly. When I want you to write down this, please understand why I'm asking you to write. Everybody in the chat box, I should see everyone writing it. Whenever you are going to work in the organization, whenever you are or designated on certain roles and responsibility, you should all keep this in your mind that while working in team, people who are there, sometimes they learn quickly, sometimes they may take time to learn. If anybody, if by chance there is a member of your team who is not performing well, you should not blame him loudly. That is what even you should remember when you people are pursuing management course. You should not fight openly. Many a times we do have different opinion, isn't it? Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. Sometimes you may like something, sometimes you may not like something. So you may have your own dislike and like. So whenever you are having different opinion, whenever you are not agreeing on certain point or topic, don't shout. Don't be loud. Don't show your negative emotions and feelings immediately. Don't express them loudly. Always remember when you have to praise someone. Say, for example, if somebody has done extremely good, you can clap for him or her. You can really call everyone, you can gather everyone, and you can bring that positivity among others that, look, this is the person who has performed so well. Say, for example, if I talk about you all, so if I take like the last name, Dheeraj Kumar, if I am saying this as Dheeraj Kumar, who has participated in a competition, and though he did not win any prize, but still, what are you going to say? Are you going to say, look, he's the one who did not win any prize, he's the loser? No. What is the way that you're going to present him? Congratulate Dheeraj Kumar, because he is the one out of many who dared to participate. So, what are you doing? You're praising him loudly. But if you are sharing the negative things loudly, it is going to spread across. So, always remember, this is the basic lesson of management. Even if you are pursuing BBA or BCA courses, you should keep these two things in your mind. Whenever you have to praise anyone, praise the person very loudly. But when you are blaming someone, don't blame them loudly. It is always advised to take them to a corner, make them understand, make them feel that what is it that you did not like, and then express your opinion. So you need to identify these skill sets. That is what everybody talks about whenever they say that after pursuing your BBA, what is it that you have learned? You should know this, that as a member of management, you cannot blame loudly. You have to always praise loudly. If you are talking about blaming, it's not blaming. It's once again letting people understand what are their drawbacks, how can they overcome these drawbacks. So when we talk about persuasive messages, every now and then you will see people using persuasive messages instead of negative. Negatives are used at those points where you have no other opinion left or there is no other option left. Say, for example, you did not perform well. So the basic problem with the present generation student, they don't improve their writing skills. They don't improve their communication skill, that is speaking skills or writing skills. Now, at the end, after 3 years, at the end of the course, when they are attending any interview, then they start blaming their parents, they start blaming school, they start blaming their friend circle, they start blaming their colleges. Everybody is there in the list of the blame game. But what are you forgetting? You are forgetting your own efforts. So please keep this in your mind that whenever you are talking about negative, negative should be only said when you are left with no option. If you have the option of correcting, improving, or generating that zeal so that the person can change and improvise, what is the best practice that you should apply? You should try to generate positivity. Even if a person is negative, you should try to avoid or you should try to eliminate that negativity from his mind or from her mind and bring in that positivity. That is what persuasive is. I don't know how many of you have watched the movie Chuck Day. Have you seen that last scene before the final match, before the finale was played, where Shah Rukh Khan gives a beautiful lecture or beautiful discourse to all his members, to all the students? Don't you feel motivated when you hear something like that? Similarly, when you see the Indian cricket team, when they are like when they have gathered in the field, whenever they are in a problem, they huddle across and they come across and then they discuss. So what are they doing? They are motivating each other. They are influencing each other with the positive words. They are persuading. In every organization, in every institution, of course, persuasive messages will be written. Say, for example, when you have joined any organization for the first time, Dheeraj, and if you did not perform well, the company or the organization is not going to fire you at all. What are they going to say? They will let you know what are the areas where you have to really work on. Say, for example, you were given a task. You could not do or you could not finish the task within the given timeline. Instead of scolding, they will say, look, this was the timeline. Unfortunately, you could not complete. They will ask you what are your problems, why you could not complete the task, and then they will give you certain tips and techniques of improving yourself. This is persuasive message. I hope I have cleared your doubt that every organization, even your parents, even as a brother and sister, your sibling, or even your best friend, they always persuade us, they always motivate us, they always encourage us. But yes, we should be very cautious whenever we are making friends. We need to check, we need to have a proper control, we have to really have those checks and balances. Are our friends really helping us to learn good things, or are they persuading us towards the bad thing? A small practice, very common practice. I don't know why kids, they start smoking after 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. What is the fun in smoking? But you must all have seen people around you, kids around you, they start smoking. Why are they smoking? You don't know the answer. Who had persuaded them? Do you think their parents were asking them, forcing them to smoke? No, of course not. But they were persuaded by their friends. And do you think this is right persuasion? Do you think this is positive, or this is what would you consider this as? I want to know your opinion quickly in the chat box. I want to see who's going to reply me first. Abhijit, of course, it is because of the negative friends. Now, why are we getting carried by negative friends? Who is at fault? Is it our friends who are at fault, or is it we? I'm at fault if I am allowing my friend to influence me even negatively. All right. So become matured. If you really think that you are a matured student or a matured guy and a girl, you should always understand that others, if they are influencing you, try to find out whether it is positive or negative. If it is negative, get away from it. If it is positive, accept it. Change is very important. So identify whether it is for good cause or bad cause. If it is for good cause, accept it. If it is for bad cause, reject it. So when we talk about messages, can I get quickly in the chat box all the four names of the different kinds of message that we are going to use in our day-to-day life? Of course, because it's our fault, Priya. I totally agree with you. People, this is again, Ismail, it's a blame game. It's an environment around there. No, it's not the environment. Environment can never teach you negative things. Environment always teaches us good thing, dear. It always teaches us how to share and care. All right. So please remember, it's not environment. Again, this is blame game. Environment will never teach you bad things. Environment always teaches you good things. It's only the people. All right. So that is what you should remember, dear, that we are allowing people to influence us. Very good, Arav. Yes, we have discussed today the routine message, the positive messages, the negative messages, as well as the persuasive messages. Maladjustment, again, maladjustment is totally a different word. We are going to have a topic on maladjustment when we are going to have a group discussion. What do you think maladjustment is really good enough, fruitful enough for the young boys and girls? So yes, we have discussed about these four kinds of messages. So moving ahead to the next topic that we are going to discuss today, and these next first this slide as well as this slide, we are going to finish off up to these 10 points in today's class. So when we are talking about essentials for effective message communication, whenever we want to convey positive messages or routine messages or negative messages or persuasive messages in an effective way, what are the common things that we have to keep in our mind? Point one, we should know the process of communication. I don't know how many of you could recall, we have discussed about the process of communication. Do you remember the picture in which there was a sender, there was a receiver, sender encoding message, decoded by the receiver, and in case if there are barriers, again, they cannot understand, there will be no clarity. So we have to really get rid of barriers. So otherwise, if we really understand, if barriers are eliminated, if there are no barriers, we can definitely send the information, we can share the information from the sender to the receiver in the right way. So understanding the process. If the people are having clear identity and their understanding is that they have the clarity in their understanding, what they are supposed to do. The person, if you are sharing a positive feedback, they'll take it in positive way. If you are sharing a negative feedback, they should understand why people are sharing negative feedback and how to correct themselves instead of blaming others. This is very, very important. Next is know the audience. You should know what kind of audience I have. If I am talking to one of my friend who becomes upset immediately when he hears any negative news, so are you going to straight away convey the negative news? No. What are you going to do? You're going to apply the tactic or technique of sharing the negative news with the help of persuasive, isn't it? So when you persuade others, then share the negative, and then once again bring up the positivity, you will see the person will come to know about the drawback, will also work out on his skills, and will be very happy to know about the problem areas. But straight away telling negative things, again, it is going to create distances between you and the other person. You will not have that friendly relationship. You will not have that bonding between you and the other person. So always keep this in your mind. You should know who the audience is. To whom am I sharing? Will he take my words in a positive way? Will she take my words in a positive way? Is she going to behave in the right way? Will he behave in the right way? If not, in what way I should communicate, in what way I should pitch, in what way I should share the opinion. This is again very important. The next is be well informed. Now, sometimes you may have the wrong information, and because of having this wrong information, if you're sharing wrong information, ultimately it is going to ruin your relationship. So please remember, be very well informed. Know whether you are sharing the right things or not. Say, for example, you're congratulating someone, whereas he doesn't even deserve the congratulation. You'll become a fool in front of him. So therefore, it is very important to have the right information. To remember when we were talking about effective ways of writing anything or sharing anything, outline and organize your idea. And second point was gather information. Similarly, here, when you are trying to communicate, when you are trying to share any message, be it positive, negative, routine, or persuasive, the most important thing that you should keep in your mind is that always you should collect the right information so that you can communicate in an effective way. If you are not communicating in an effective way, somewhere down the line, you did not gather information in the right way. You are not well informed. So gather information, try to understand whether the information that was gathered, that you have gathered, is the correct one or not. And then next, plan your communication, how you're going to present it, how you're going to share it with others, how you're going to present in front of others so that they can understand its importance. And finally, the approach that you should have should be positive ones. Say, for example, when you know that your friend is not studying, he is wasting his or her time. So what are you going to do? Are you going to say, no, no, friend, you better do what you want to. I will study and I will try to get good marks and I'll be happy with what I am having and you be happy with what you are. So that's not called as friendship. So if you're really a good friend, what are you going to do? You're going to be positive. You are going to be very sincere in your approach and you will try to show the right picture, isn't it? You will try to become a mirror for your friend and you will say him or her that, look, this is what you are doing is right. This is what you are doing is wrong. Right will remain right. Wrong will be wrong. And if you are really doing wrong, what are the ways in which you can avoid doing wrong things? So be very positive. Be always sincere in our approach. Also know the time factor. If you are sharing wrong information at the wrong time, say for example, if people are fighting, if people are shouting, if people are having negative opinion, and at that time, even if you want to share a positive things, people will not listen to you. Let me give you a best example. When your father is scolding, and even though if you are sharing some good news to him, he'll not listen to you. Why? Because that was a wrong factor, wrong time factor. So keep this in your mind. The time matters a lot. At what time you are going to convey, how you are going to convey it matters a lot. So time element is again very, very important. That is the reason you must have seen. You always check your father's mood, isn't it? If he is smiling, you share the things. If you want anything, if you want a new mobile phone, if you are looking for a bike, if you are willing to purchase a new shoes, or if you are looking for something new. So you always check for their mood, isn't it? Is my dad happy today? Is my mother happy today? Can I ask him or can I ask her? So why are you doing this? That is what the time element is. We wait for the best time. And then accordingly, when they are happy, when we know that this is the right time to pitch, we present our idea, we present our opinion, we go with our request, isn't it? So keep this in your mind that yes, time is again a major element which we all have to check. Proper mode and proper channel. The way you are going to communicate, that means, are you face to face? Are you talking to people face to face? Say, for example, if you are sharing negative things, don't convey it over phone. Don't convey it over email. If you are blaming someone, don't convey in the meeting. You should always know what is the mode. Say, for example, if everybody is gathered in the canteen and if you are shouting at a person, don't you think that because of one activity of yours, the person, the other person who was there listening to you, he was he had to face that abuse. He had to really face tough time, not only with you, but also with all the other members, whosoever were there at that particular time in the canteen. So know the right mode, know the right channel. When we were talking about mode or medium, if you remember, I have told you it could be face to face, it could be telephonic, it could be written, it could be email, it could be video conferencing, it could be through SMS, it could be through different kinds of letters, it could be in different ways. So you should know what is the mode and what is the channel that we apply. The next, be cost conscious. Always remember, whatever you are going to share, it should save your time, it should save your cost, it should be very simple, easy to understand. And always it is advised to seek feedback, to get feedback, to obtain feedback. If you are obtaining feedback, say for example you have given a presentation, you're very happy, you know that you have presented very well, are you not going to ask for feedback? Who knows that though you have presented very well, but there are certain drawbacks, there are certain loopholes, there are certain points which you really need to work out. So always look for feedback. Sharing feedback is very, very important here. And then finally, don't communicate, which is like, don't have overloaded communication. What do we understand by overloaded communication? Sharing too much of knowledge, too much of information on one single point. Say, for example, when we are sharing any information with our friends, always remember, whenever we are communicating, we should speak to the point. Do you remember 3S? Short, simple, straightforward. Isn't it, dear? But if we are short, simple, and straightforward, are we going to talk hours and hours? No. Are we going to talk irrelevant things? No. Are we going to present irrelevant things? No. Are we going to talk insensibly? No. So please remember, avoid over communication. Again, that is very, very bad. So that's all in today's class. I hope everybody could understand. When we talk about messages, there are 4 different types of messages: positive, negative, routine, and persuasive. Whenever you are finding or whenever you are facing someone and when you think that you have to share negative, think twice. Is this the right time to share negative message, or can I persuade him or her, and can I take a chance of improving him and her, so that the next time when the person is going to meet you, when the person is going to present, when the person is going to interact, he will be more motivated and he can change negative into positive. All right. So yes. Now mode and medium. But please remember, mode and medium, they remain the same. So Dheeraj, whenever we are talking about the medium, whenever we are talking about the mode, they are one and the same. It could be in different ways. That's what I said here. It could be face to face. It could be interview. It could be group discussion, it could be telephonic conversation, it could be through letters, it could be the different ways that we use. Sometimes it is through presentation, sometimes it is through writing, that is a report, through proposal. We are going to discuss about the different ways in which we are going to share the communication. All right, Dheeraj? So all the things that you are learning, say for example, letters, again, it's a medium, isn't it? Are you going to share the information with others? Medium. Is email, again, it's a medium. Electronic mailing is again a medium. All right, dear. So don't get confused. It's one and the same related to modes and medium. So that's all in today's class. We'll have another class or after a week, because this week will be holidays for Chhat and Diwali. After a week, I'll be sharing you once again the link of the class so that you people can start attending. Meanwhile, I'm going to share assignment on your class code. I'll appreciate if you can do the assignment, complete the assignment, and upload it on the class code so that I can mark it. All right. Take care of yourself. As I said, let the Diwali really bring lots of happiness, joy in everybody's life. God bless you all. Take care of yourself, dear. All right. And